So we're just going to decant a bit of the paint stripper into the tin, just use an old biscuit tin. And we're stripping this tabletop. And we've got the rest of the table masked up with paper and masking tape. So we just want to strip the top, nothing else. So apply the stripper very, very thickly. Because if we put it on like paint, like that, all will happen is that it'll melt it. It'll melt the polish, but after a short time it'll set, and so you won't get the benefits of the paint stripper. So, and it doesn't take very long for it to start to work. There we are. I can just leave that. Now, we're only doing this as a last resort. Unfortunately, this table's had a bit of a hard life. It's probably about 200 years old, maybe a lot older. It's been in the same family for maybe as long, I'm not sure. But polished furniture is the surface of antique furniture is sacrosanct. And we only strip it as a last resort, but this has had such a hard life. We'll breathe new life into it by repolishing it. Over the years, the reason why the finish is so important to a piece of furniture is that it builds up a patination, and that can be caused by where the furniture is being positioned in the sun, or sort of dust that settles on it. It gets sort of polished off, dusted off, and that is almost like a micro burnishing of the surface. And all these different environmental effects make a process of a patination that you can't equal, you can't copy it. So we avoid removing it at all cost. And this is that's a cat just walked in. So that's the other cat, Bill. So we'll just give this a try. There we are. Leave it a little bit longer. It's starting to go. And you won't lift much polish because it's not that thick. But looks like it's going at that end. It just slowly bubbles up. There we are. That's nice. And you see the scraper got some nice round edges, so you won't dig in, because not only is the polished surface, if it's not damaged, sacrosanct, so is the surface that the polish is applied to. because it'll have lots of little scars and bumps that will remove the ones which are ugly with sanding, but the rest we'll just leave because it's part of the story of the furniture, and again it'll convey a beauty that modern furniture just doesn't have. And it's interesting to see there's like a cut mark there that's gone right through the surface. So we'll get that out. There are ways of actually getting rid of cut marks like this, sort of stains in the polish without having to revert to stripping it all off. But I'll show you that in another lesson. Now there we are. So the next thing we do, once we've got the majority off, is apply a bit more stripper, and we'll just let that run through. Let that soak in for a while, because what we're going to do now is get rid of all the polish that's soaked into the grain. We'll do that with some coarse wire wool. I'll tell you what grade we're going to use. As you can see there, using coarse, so it's about, I think it's probably number 3, and then you get the fine, which goes down in zeros, which we use for cutting in between coats of polish, denibbing. That's a very good make, and it's the industry standard. But I'll be listing all these as we in the course notes. So if we get a fresh bit of steel wool, you can see that's the coarse steel wool. You soak it in and then just rub along the grain, with the grain, not across, because then you get scratches. And this is going to get rid of all the gunk that's in the grain. And you can see there that it's lifting it already, because that's a fresh piece of steel wool. Now we just get a rag, and the thing is, you can't get enough of these. So if anybody offers you any rags, any old clothes, any old blankets, anything that can be made into a rag, bite the hand off, because you will be, if you're doing this to any great extent, you will require lots and lots of them. I'll just have a little bit more. Give it a bit of a shake. And then you just pour with a nozzle at the top of the tin, and then it doesn't splash out. There we are. And we're going to do the same process again. And the table is made of mahogany, probably Cuban mahogany, which is a timber you can't get these days, unfortunately. It's we've actually exhausted the supply, and the planet is a bit worse for that, unfortunately. So again, if you as a restorer can build up a supply of reclaimed timber, say this table was beyond repair, it was only the leaves, well, you cherish it, and you'd sort of make sure that it wouldn't be thrown away or burnt. You'd certainly use it on another job perhaps. And then again, another go. Move the grain. And I should get rid of it. And you see, and then it's just a wipe with a cloth. A clean face on the cloth, and again. And again. And again. That's it. Right, so next we use some methylated spirits. Another fresh piece of steel wool, same coarse grade. And we just be quite careful with this because it will spill, being a liquid. So we don't want it dripping onto the table legs or the parts of the table we're not going to polish. Just an old washing up bottle is perfect to use. Now, I'm only showing this as a demonstration. In reality, if you were stripping this table, you would carry out one process across the whole surface, and then you would move on to the next process of cleaning. Now, what we're doing here is getting rid of all the remaining bits of stripper and polish, cleaning the grain. And so I'm going with the grain, not across it. And it also has the effect that it will actually neutralise the polish, the stripper, sorry. So when we come to apply another finish, that finish in turn won't be affected by the paint stripper that you put on previously. It won't lift it after you've polished it. So that's the last thing you want. And we'll do it a second time. So the rule is one application of paint stripper with a scraper, and then 2 applications with a paint stripper and coarse steel wool, and then 2 applications of methylated spirits with coarse steel wool, obviously rubbing off the residue with a cloth. And then the next process we're going to do is we're going to actually sand the surface. And there we are. So we'll let this little corner dry, let the methylated spirits evaporate, which should take a few minutes, and then we'll go through the sanding process, and that'll be in the next video.